Welcome to another episode of Tekoa Talks. We are going to celebrate today. We're going to talk about celebrating. And one of the reasons we wanted to do this is it's your birthday this week.
And it's your birthday this week.
So we're celebrating birthdays. We're glad you're here celebrating with us. And I think it can be hard though sometimes. It's a little easier this week for us to celebrate for one another because we both get to celebrate. But sometimes it can be challenging to celebrate when you see something that somebody else has that you want. How do you really be excited for that person?
Yeah, I think one of the first things for me that I've had to really separate is to not compare myself to that person. Because I think when we do the comparison game, we end up losing out, and we also end up losing out on the friendship and the opportunity to celebrate with other people. Because the reality is, your success doesn't impact my success, your victories don't impact my victories, and that is so hard in this day and age because we're taught like, okay, you have to be in constant competition with your peers, people at work, or you have to constantly be like, oh, well, my kid's doing this, what's your kid doing? And there's constantly this comparison. But when we take that away and we look at people and go, hey, I'm super happy for you that you get to do whatever, or I'm super happy for you that you got that promotion, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
yes, if we're peers and there's only one job opening, that's kind of a bummer for me, but there's got to be other opportunities that God has in store for me. And I can't be sliding your success because of my current position or where I'm at. And I think that's really hard.
Yeah, and I think gratitude is such an important piece of that of realizing what do I have to be thankful for? Because I could have had a great birthday this week, and my wife did awesome things and planned, and it was really good. And then I go on Instagram and see what you had for your birthday, and your friends did, and your spouse did, and I could be jealous of what you got versus like I had a great birthday, and it was probably more tailored toward me than your birthday was, anyways. I don't know what I don't know what you're doing for your birthday, but it probably is a little bit more feminine than what happened for my birthday. And so if I just look at and be grateful for what I have and be thankful that, what, like you're somebody that I care about in life, I'm excited that you got to have a good birthday.
And I think it's really cool when we get to celebrate with people where they're at, what growth that they've accomplished, or just the season of life that they're in, but getting to cheer people on. Personally, I feel like is a really fun thing. I know it's hard for some people to be in that encouraging boat, and I get that that's not for everybody. But for me, I found it's really exciting to get to celebrate with people and cheer them on, to hear about, like, we have a friend who was trying to win a big account at work. And so getting to follow up with him and see where that was at and like going with him on that journey. Clearly, I'm not the one in this sales pitch. I'm not the one prepping the decks all night long or all those types of things. But to get to be checking in and seeing the progress and getting to celebrate along the way brings me joy as well, because I get to cheer my friends on and I get to celebrate with them. And so I think we get to experience some joy too when we celebrate with people genuinely, not, well, you get that thing and I don't, like this is a bummer. But to really be invested in our friends and our family, like there's joy that we get from it too.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I think through as well. Maybe it's because I'm a pastor, but I think it's a good thing for all of us is how does God see this person or the situation? And God wants good things for all of us. And so when I start to see people through his eyes, and often when I see myself playing the comparison game or looking at what somebody else has, I start to think about that like, is this a win for God? And is this a win for them in their life? And if it is, then I can be excited about that because God wants good things for them, and I know He has good things in store for me too, and so it helps me celebrate a little bit more. And one thing that I wanted to talk about as well is that sometimes it's good to put your money where your mouth is, and sometimes our emotions can follow that too. I know I've been more intentional about that this last year. That sometimes if I'm struggling with being a little bit envious of somebody or want something, it's like, I didn't struggle with this for our birthdays, but it's like, okay, well, if I buy you a birthday gift, or maybe it's not a monetary thing, maybe it's me sending a text message or whatever to celebrate with you of that action that might actually be really hard for me to do. Maybe you are really wanting kids and you haven't been able to have kids, and your best friend is pregnant, and you're like, this is really hard to celebrate, but not just putting on that face and having the negative thoughts inside, not that kind of celebration, but really trying to say, you know what, I want to celebrate for this person because they just had a great thing happen in life. And what can I do that might be a little hard for me to do, but what can I do to help them celebrate? And often then I start to celebrate. I
Mm-hmm.
start to have, I start to be excited for them.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes we need those steps of faith to change our hearts so that we can be in the right mindset and move forward. So, how are you guys celebrating? What are ways that you are celebrating others, whether it be their successes, life milestones, birthdays, whatever the case may be? We want to hear from you guys. So, make sure to comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, and we hope to see you guys back next week.